大鹿。
5分頃からはもっと知りたい今を深掘りスカイパレッツプラスです。
うめっ。
おお、あ、気持ちいい。熱っ。YouTube とかにアップしても大丈夫ですか？
全然大丈夫です。バンバン出してください。
わかりました。
そっちにもガンダムの本人、キャラデザの人書いたやつも
見ました。ありがとうございます。
資格があったりとかしてね。はい。
So you bring me comfort for truth. Come and hold my heart again, give it life. Don't let the sun go down on me. Come and hold my heart again, give it life. Don't let the sun go down on me. You're the king of health and scars alike. You're the fighting beats and the roaring quiet. Earthly tensions are known by you. So you've brought me comfort for truth. Yeah. How you've brought me comfort for truth. So come and hold my heart again, give it life. Don't let the light go out. Come and hold my heart again, give it life. Don't let the sun go down. Don't let the sun go down on me. Oh, don't let the sun go down. Ooh. Now you're sitting by the water, and I'm still on the line. I wish that I was right beside you. If I'm on your mind, in the room, I'm missing you.
うまっ。 うめえ嘘だろ。うわ、これうまいな。いや、止まんねえ。いや、この醤油もうまいんだな。